What's up, everybody? This is Jed Johnson from DieselCrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. Everybody calls me Napalm. In fact, nobody even calls me Jed anymore. I don't even know why I say that, because I've been called Napalm since I came out of the womb. So I don't know. So today I've got a unboxing for you. This is a Blob 50 that I got from Luke Wicks, and I have just about all the different types of blobs: next gen, blue blob, which almost nobody has, fat man blob. I've got handle blobs, all kinds of blobs. But Blob 50s came out. They were the first replica of blobs, and I didn't get one right away, and I kind of regretted it. So when Luke said he was going to be selling this, I jumped right on it right away. Now, you see that this thing is wrapped in plastic, and even the plastic bag has a hole in it. Guys, if you're going to be shipping blobs, you need to take the ever-loving shit out of these boxes. And before that, you should really wrap the blob in plastic, cardboard, all that stuff to get rid of any edge that might damage the box. And I've even seen people double box these, whether they take like a cardboard box and put the blob inside that little box and then go with the flat rate box. Flat rate box is the way to go. This is the medium flat rate. I don't know what it costs. It was $21.40. That was with some insurance on it. There's no need to send through UPS or just a cardboard box and then pay out your ass. Go with a flat rate box, but don't use the long skinny box. Use the square box. This is the flat box, the flat rectangle. You want the one that's kind of smaller. So thankfully, the post office wrapped this thing in plastic and taped the shit out of it again, or else this thing was gone, and I wouldn't have gotten it. So I see he did put bubble wrap around it, but it's very loose in there. And what happens is, as it travels, the shock of it moving around just destroys the box. So you want to take this as a learning opportunity. Anybody that's going to be shipping blobs, block weights of any sort, you got to take care of it. You gotta almost go overboard when you're wrapping these things up. So I don't know if I'll be able to lift it. Yep, I'm able to lift it. Feels pretty good. Texture's pretty good. Now, I didn't know about this, but this is not apparently from the original run of these Blob 50s. You can see there's an identifier here. I can't really make it out. Turn it over. 26013X. I have no idea what that means. Blob 50s were made by Gordon Vizecki. I want to say back, first run was like 2005, 2006. And they're fairly rare. If I read that number right, 26013X, I can't believe that means 26,013, but I suppose it's possible. This is patterned after the next gen blob, which back in those days, we didn't even realize that there were multiple types of blobs. We thought that all blobs were the same. And then Richard Soren let us know that the original style of blob, the Fat Man blob, was wider. These were called second generation blobs for a while, but as it turns out, the true second generation blob is the blue blob. They were a little bit smaller in their profile than than the original Fat Man blobs. They're called Fat Man because they're so wide. So these are patterned after what is now called Next Gen Blob, which is really, as far as I know, the third generation of York dumbbell head. So it's pretty cool. I'm happy to have this in my collection now, and we'll go ahead and get a close-up of it. Maybe you guys can make out what that says a little bit better than me, but it looks like 26,013, I have no idea what that means. I'm not familiar with any kind of numbering system that Gordon would have done when he made these. Don't know if he still sells them. I have honestly no idea. I haven't heard anything out of Gordon Vizecki in probably 10 plus years. He was a gripster from Minnesota. I met him in January of 2004. Went to a contest that was called Strong Arm Tactics. It was run by a guy named Brian Carlton. He went by BC Dot, BSEEDOT on the grip board. That contest in January of 2004 was huge. Like 20 people, both Rob Vigents competed at that contest. Let's go ahead and get a weight. Also Dave Osland, who went on to become a professional strongman competitor, competed there. Jeff Bissonette, Matt Van Weel. These are all names that I know, but most of you probably don't. They go back in the history, the annals of grip sport. So that's a Blob 50, weighs 50.65 pounds. Of course, that's not a calibrated scale or anything, but right in the neighborhood. Of course, there's other Blob replicas. You've seen the red pill on my channel. Those are bought on eBay. Everybody always asks where they're bought. I always put it in the description box. You can get them on eBay. You got to look up red pill strongman block weight or something like that. There's also the Fat Man clone, which a guy named Chris Bauman, if I have that name correctly, he made those for a while in the late 2000s, before 2010. At one point he wanted to sell me the mold, but I never jumped on it. I don't know if it's still available. But there you go, Blob 50 in the collection. And somebody will probably want to try that out at Nationals, so we'll go ahead and put this thing away underneath the dumbbell rack. There you go, guys. Any questions? Leave them in the comment section below. All the best in your training. Give the video one of these. Be sure to subscribe. Take care.